So how do you break through a plateau? Periodization is one of the best things that you can do with your workouts, but it doesn't always work. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So don't go away. Periodization is a planned cyclical manipulation of workout variables to achieve peak performance at a specific time. So basically, you're taking your exercises, your workouts, all the things that you're doing, and placing them on your calendar in such a way as to work up to where you want to be when you want to be there. Usually this is used for athletes in sports so that they can achieve at a given race, at a given competition, or anything like that when they need to be at their best on a specific date. But this can also be used for the average everyday exerciser in the gym or at home. There are three basic types of periodization. You have your linear or traditional periodization. You have block periodization and undulating periodization. The biggest difference between these three types is your cycle that you're focusing on, the length of the cycle that you're focusing on. Because you have your macro cycles, which is typically 6 months to a year. You have your mesocycles, which is usually a month or so. And you have your microcycles, which is down to the week and day. Linear periodization focuses more on the macro cycle. You are starting out with high rep, low weight, high volume, low intensity, and you're working up to the lower rep, higher weight, lower volume, higher intensity, just straight through. Block periodization, you are taking it, breaking it down into smaller chunks and focusing more on the mesocycles and working through with transition weeks in between for breathing space. The undulating periodization is called undulating periodization because the graph forms a wave-like structure. This happens because you're focusing more on the microcycles. You're focusing more on the week and day. So you're going through from that low weight, high rep to that higher weight, lower rep in a week or two, and makes it a shorter, more wave-like graph. One of the biggest things that periodization does for you is it helps you break through those plateaus and it helps you reverse decline. And the reason for this is because eventually your body adapts to movements. Eventually your body adapts to weight loads. Your body eventually adapts to intensities. So if you stay in one place for too long, your body gets used to it. So you stop getting as much benefit out of it. So periodization helps you break that up and get in those variations in different ways to help change things up so that your body isn't stuck to one thing for too long and experiencing that plateau or even a decline if you're not moving forward. Some of the other benefits of periodization is that it makes it a little bit easier to get that lower intensity exercising into your routine. And the big thing about this is that it helps to avoid overtraining, because it is so easy to push ourselves into overtraining. And overtraining can be dangerous, can lead to injury, illness, and even death if you don't take care of it. So this is very important. And this also helps with recovery, because if you aren't getting that lower intensity exercises into your routine and you're focusing too much on the more intense exercises, you don't give yourself enough time for recovery. So this allows that breathing room and that chance for recovery. Now, of course, there's a downside to almost everything. So, and the downside to this is that it might not always work out because things happen in life. Life happens. And so you can't always depend on a set schedule. So, you may get sick. You may get injured. There are vacations. Emergencies happen. There are things that happen that can upset your training schedule if it's too strict. And a lot of times that can throw people off and make it hard to stick to a periodization schedule. Another thing that can throw you off a periodization schedule is that your body might not always react the way that you expect that it might. You might hit an exercise or a week of exercises that hit you harder than you expected, that leave you sorer than you expected or sorer for longer than you expected, and which can make it hard to get back into the schedule the next day, the next week, the next month. And this can make it hard to stick to a periodization schedule. But there are a couple of things that you can do to help negate these things a little bit and help you be able to stick to a periodization schedule a little bit better. You can make your schedule a little more flexible by maybe having a plan for the week or whatever, but instead of specifically you have to do it in a specific order, you can be a little bit more flexible to say, well, these are my workouts for this week. And I can choose to do them on whatever day works best. They don't necessarily have to do this specific workout on Monday. On Monday, if you don't feel like doing this specific workout, you can choose another one that you have planned for that week. So you still have a plan for the week, but as far as specifically when to do each workout, specifically what day to do each workout on, you can leave a little bit more variable. You can leave a little bit more flexible. So if something happens on Monday, your whole schedule doesn't have to necessarily be thrown off. You can just choose an easier, shorter workout for Monday and do what you were supposed to have done on Monday on Tuesday or Wednesday. And this makes it a little bit more flexible and a little bit easier to stick to. There's also getting back on track if your schedule does get thrown off. You just take the time, you forgive yourself. Okay, you got off track. So you just take a breath, forgive yourself and say, but it's gonna be okay. Then you sit down and you readjust and get back on track. And don't let it be so upsetting that you were thrown off track. And that just have it in your head that it's okay, you can get back on track. So how do you break through a plateau? Periodization. So how do you break through a plateau? Periodization. So that was just a few thoughts on periodization and how to use it. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching.